I was the kind of child that was shy, but only outside of my house. When I was alone in my room, I could feel like myself. But when I was in my room and in front of other people, I felt like I had to put on some sort of front and act like everybody else. But I knew I wasn't like everybody else.
There is a special excitement in the air for the 40,000 fans who are waiting for Madonna to take the stage. As a matter of fact, at every stop along her 90,000-mile tour, Madonna has caused a commotion.
I definitely know why we were picked, why me and Jose were picked, because she definitely wanted us to choreograph the Vogue video and then tour after. We already had this Vogue thing going on. Our group was quite known in the underground scene in New York City.
Madonna came to New York to meet us. She was like, "Hey, what's up? I heard a lot about you and this Vogue thing you guys do. I want to see. Will you show me?"
Clearly, Jose is very young. He's talented in many forms of dance. At the
She
moment,
saw raw talent. She saw character. Young, artistic expression is the best. Spoke my mind, just like she did.
We carried our flamboyance as a warning. Yes, we have earrings on. Yes, we have eyeliner on. But don't mistake any of this for weakness.
I remember seeing the ad. I had just had the roughest summer of my life. I had no money to eat. I had no money to get around. I had a terrible highlighted mullet. I'd never seen so many people at an audition. It was madness. It went all the way down the block.
I was young and I was hungry and America was new to me. I arrived June 20th, 87. And then after being 3 years in New York, I got the job with Madonna.
This is so wild. I'm panicking right now. Belgium stress.
I always wanted everybody to look at me, all the time. You know, dancing, I always wanted to be the best dancer, I wanted to be the best at this. I always wanted to be the best at everything. Yeah. And with dancing, I mostly was.
I remember getting home and I had a message on my answering machine. No one has answering machines anymore. And I answered, it was like, "Hi, I'm trying to reach Carlton. This is Madonna." And I was like, what the fuck? She called my house. And she said that she was gonna be going to a club called Club Louis. And she was inviting me to come. And all the boys that were there, Kevin was there. I remember Oliver was there, Jose and Louis. I think basically the cast that ended up being cast were there that night.
Oh man. I went home and I said, "Mom, I made it," and I dropped down on my knees and started crying. And that was it.
For this tour, I think Madonna had seen a lot of great dancers. So I think once you've seen the great dancers, what stands out next is style and personality.
There's a statement that I have always sat with that represented how she dealt with us, and it was, "Give me more of you. Give me more of you." Liberal,
expressive, you know. We were just like what she was into at the time, pushing buttons and not being afraid to say, you know, who we were.
That show is about freedom. Freedom as an artist, freedom as a human being, freedom in regards to fucking speak the truth.
Express yourself, you know, and not be ashamed about it.
We had our own thing, our own attitude, our own style. We all were brought up differently. Even though the 6 of them were gay, they all were brought up differently. I mean, we all had a story to tell.
Oh my God, we let Oliver have it sometimes, you know. We were all classically trained dancers too. He was the only one who actually just came from kind of like a hip hop background. We used to call him not like a real dancer. Yeah.
Before I met them, if someone was gay, I would probably punch him out.
We saw a leather jacket with lots of colors on it, and he had blonde hair. You know, we're so fierce and flamboyant ourselves that, you know, that's the first thing we noticed, you know, the other flamboyant person. Come to find out that the other flamboyant person was not even gay.
Of course, everything's color coordinated. The sad part is, I have more clothes than my wife. The good thing is, my wife is not materialistic. Her ring is simple. Our life, well, her life is simple. My life isn't. I'm just that person. I've always been like that. But name a person, name a guy that has pink suede Adidas. That's right.
He certainly didn't look like a homophobe, not the way he was dressed. You know, how can you be homophobic? I mean, you look like a parrot. When you're rusted into this situation, it's almost like a fishbowl situation. You know, we're here and then it's everybody else on the outside.
It's a wave. It's physical wave. It's a wind of screams. A gale, like a hurricane of screams and voices, like just hitting you palpably. It's not like you just hear it in the distance. It's like hitting you in your face.
It was crazy. You know, not only did we see "We Love Madonna" signs out there, but we saw, you know, "We love Kevin," "We love, you know, Carlton," "We love Louis and Jose," "We love," you know, in the audience.
This is the first of 8 sellout shows that Madonna will be performing in the New York area over the next 2 weeks. And like everything else that Madonna does, this tour is high on shock value.
Spokesman for rock singer Madonna say Metro Police and the Crown Attorney's Office threatened to arrest the star last night for lewd and obscene behavior.
I am aware that the Vatican and certain Catholic communities are accusing my show of being sinful and blasphemous. That they are trying to keep people from seeing it.
Hi guys, welcome. Welcome to the home I grew up in. Okay, come in. This is the room where I stay at now. It's now like the junk room. Oh, this is Jimmy, my boyfriend. His big head, okay? And come this way. And this is my mom back there. Mom, saluda, mami. Hi. That's my mom, see? Hi. And that's the lady, people.
Cuando Madonna hizo
un show en Suiza.
When she's saying when we were in Europe,
Ajá, estaba muy contenta, me
because she saw it on
llamaban,
the news.
me llamaban mucho por el teléfono diciéndome qué suerte, todo eso.
That
Cuando
everyone would call her.
yo decía que era la mamá de él, cuando salía a la tienda, que era la mamá de bailarín de anoche, pues decían, ¿tuviste el concierto de los bailarines del puertorriqueño y el
She's saying
dominicano?
that it was a very big deal. It was very controversial, everything. And they were saying how we were Hispanics, and being that me and Louis were from the Hispanic community, it was a very big deal. So they would call her, you know, and when she would go out shopping to the grocery stores, they're like, oh my God, we saw your son. Big controversy. He almost got arrested in Europe for being whatever or whatever.
By the time we left Japan, I found myself growing really attached to the dancers, and I started feeling like a mother to them.
Gabriel, since you never give me any attitude, you get the oldest and most valuable one.
Thank you.
Oh, rest in peace. Oh. Love him. Love him so much. These two took care of me. Kevin and Gabriel, they really looked after me when I was on tour because they knew where I came from. Everybody knew what I was about and knew where I came from, but they always had my back. Not saying the rest of my boys and girls didn't have my back, but I was a baby.
If I can manage to get down back through my shoes, I have a problem, let's say. What do we got here?
Some pictures from the tour. There's Gabriel. There's Gabriel. There I am. He was the unofficial favorite child. There was something about him that was just peaceful. Like always like this peaceful, bright presence. Oh, here's my Christmas present.
What's that?
My Christmas present from Madonna years ago.
What does it say?
For my darling little Asian beauty, Kevin baby, grab life by the balls and don't let go. I'd call them my first family, you know. Besides my blood relatives, they're definitely my first family that I really bonded with because it was a very formative part of my life. My mom was kind of absent at that point, so having Madonna around really did sort of fill that space for me, you know, and I think for her too. I think she wanted kids, and I sort of wanted, not that I wanted a mom, but I liked having somebody that would sort of, I knew I could rely on her.
It was like a friendship, motherly instinct she felt. You know, when you're in that element of being a superstar like that, it's very hard to find the truth, and kids can be very honest, and gay kids can be very, very honest and flamboyant.
There was a lot of misunderstanding towards the gay community at that time, and you know, it wasn't readily accepted.
It got fun for a little bit, you know, the gay scene, but then like with AIDS coming out and HIV, everyone got really scared. I think it was a time where something new was needed, something new and artistic, something out of the norm. It was timing more than anything in the 90s. I think it was the time when the world was ready for it. And it would take somebody like Madonna to bring that to the forefront.
Well, get ready, America. Here comes Truth or Dare.
Madonna's Blonde Ambition tour this summer turned heads worldwide. Her documentary on the tour is just as steamy as this exclusive first look indicates.
Truth or Dare is shot documentary style. Some of the more revealing scenes are those featuring pillow talk with her backup singers and dancers. There are even scenes with two men kissing.
One of the larger purposes of the film really was to kind of, again, push buttons.
Do we want to be accepted by Hollywood? No! Do we care what people think of us? No!
Our first guests are two of the men who started the Vogue craze. They are Madonna's lead dancers, also featured in the film Truth or Dare. This is Luis and Jose. Come on out. All right. Jose and Luis.
Madonna, as these gentlemen have attested, gets to people in the current order and is setting a tone that is destructive.
If you look at our society right now, American Western society, we've really become a nation of sexual dysfunctionals.
Your fans will love the film, I think, but some people are going to find sections of it offensive.
Well, that's their problem, though.
You don't care?
No, of course not, because, see, these things exist in life. I'm only presenting life to people, you know? I am not presenting anything that probably they're not exposed to, you know, in everyday life, but maybe they don't want to deal with it. You know, if you keep putting something in somebody's face, eventually, you know, maybe they can come to terms with it.
We were ourselves, really, yeah, and we didn't care. We were just ourselves in the movie and in the tour. Yeah, that helped her, I think, reach her goal more too, of the barriers she wanted to break at that time.
Slam, Truth or Dare.
Dare.
Woo! French kiss, Gabriel.
Okay. He's up. He's up and he's ready.
Look at how she's
They want this. They want this. Yes. Get it done.
It's a hot kiss. It's like, I'm sorry. It's like, if you see that, even as a straight guy, I mean, you want to kiss a guy after you see that kiss. And, you know, it's a hot kiss. And I do think that it has helped in general, that it has helped a lot of guys or girls be more comfortable about their sexuality.
Can you hear me out there? Thank you, great audience. Somebody very special just walked in. A dancer from Madonna's Blonde Ambition tour. So glad you're here. Make some noise for
The sort of daring progressive message in this movie was that you can be gay and human, because up to this point, being gay was to be the other and be subversive and perverse. And all of a sudden there's this huge message that you can be gay and happy and successful and be full of life and be young. You know, you didn't have to be hiding in the back alley of some sleazy bar somewhere and hiding out and married and pretending, and you could be yourself and happy and still be gay.
I remember watching this movie like when I was like in middle school, and it was the first, you know, this is before the internet. I rented it from the video store, and it was like the first time that I saw like gay people, like real like gay people just talking uncensored, like being themselves, and with this, you know, amazing woman who sort of was like, yeah, it's all cool. I want to be like those guys. I want to like be that sort of free and open and you know, like, you know.
I saw two men kiss for the first time,
And I knew that I was okay with that.
I grew up in Michigan, in the Midwest on a farm. So when I saw the gay kiss, it was the first time I'd ever seen that. And it was very liberating for me.
I got this right at the beginning of this new year, December 30th, 2014. Hi there, Lewis. I just wanted to let you know that as a gay kid growing up in a rough part of East LA, I looked up to you so much. I'll never forget my mother taking me to watch Truth or Dare after school when I was in 6th grade, and watching you and the other dancers on stage with Madonna. I was so relieved that finally I could identify with someone and that all would be okay. I learned all your moves, LOL. You guys were and still are my heroes. You gave me hope when there was none. Thank you, Lewis.
While flipping channels on TV last night, I stumbled upon a random showing of the movie Truth or Dare. I was instantly taken back to my youth and everything I was dealing with at that point in my life. I grew up in a very small, homogeneous town. This movie suddenly opened up a world of possibilities of me. Wow. Growing up in the Midwest, yeah. And then the whole thing, you know, I mean, my father was a very strict Muslim, you know, also. I mean, that was also a time I remember when he moved in with us for a while that I had to like do that, because I used to have Barbies too. That was a great thing. I loved Barbies when I was little. And I actually could buy them with my mom, you know. But then when my father came in the pictures for a couple years, I had to kind of hide them, yeah. But I never threw them away, but I hid them somewhere. Yeah, I remember that actually now, yeah. And then when my mom and dad split up, I could totally like play with them again and do more girly things, yeah.
Estoy caliente. ¿Estáis calientes? Sí. Sí. Oh my God. Oh, rubbers, condoms, I mean. Hey, hi you guys. Hey, truth or dare? Truth or dare? You wanna fuck us? You know, you never really get to know a guy until you ask him to wear a condom. That's right. That's right. Hey, you, don't be silly. Put a condom on your willy. Okay?
At the time that we had the tour, I think these issues of homosexuality, gay rights, and AIDS prevention, and sexuality and sexual power, I think they were all in the forefront of her mind because of her friends' deaths, you know?
Now, you probably know Keith Haring as an artist, but I know him as a man who had the courage to tell the truth. The truth is, he was gay. The truth is, he had AIDS, and he said so to anybody who would listen. In memory of Keith, let's tell ourselves the truth. Let's tell it to each other. Let's face it together.
So much, man. I learned so much from them. I thank the Lord, Madonna. I got on tour with her because I went from being homophobic to loving everybody.
I know that they may not be aware of it, but, you know, so many years have gone by. But yeah, I carry them in a very special place, those guys.
You don't think about the moment when that it's over. That is over. And it's a hard knockdown. I'm sorry. It's very hard. Yeah. That's why I was so emotional at the end in the movie, crying. Yeah.
Great time with each other. Growing up with each other, like we grew up together. It felt like in such a short period of time, such a symbolic, we were so young, symbolic time for me. I can imagine for them growing up, so young.
Each one of us would have taken a bullet for each one of us, for each person. That's how close we were.
I wanted it to continue forever. You know, who wanted to get off that ride? Not me.
Good. Better. Yeah. Hum. Ha. Good. Nice. A little right. Good. You know, we've had a tough life and very hard to break and some energy kind of taking over you. And that's nice, Jennifer. Yes. Good. The movie, you know, Truth or Dare, you know, that was the backstage reality of what was going on the tour, but then there was a whole other backstage, you know, that you didn't get to see. And then obviously that none of us were ready to talk about.
Wow.
When you look in the mirror before I go to the show, back then, I'm looking at myself going, you know that you're a liar. Nobody in that crew, in that team, nobody knew my secret. What do you look for when you just do that?
So, a lot of things. I'm looking at what's going on inside your mouth, just anything specifically. I'm looking at your throat, specifically related to HIV. You look at the edges of the tongue, because there's something that people get called hairy leukoplakia.
What does that look? What is
It's
that?
like little white sort of growths along the side of the tongue, swallow.
I had gotten like a cramp or something was happening with my body when we were in Japan. And I went to the doctor that they sent me to, and they saw something off, and they said that they were going to have to tell her. And I was like, there's no fucking way you will tell them anything. I was petrified after that.
You know, you never really get to know a guy until you ask him to wear a condom. That's right. That's right. Hey, you don't be silly. Put a condom on your belly.
The irony for me was like I'm, in a production to express yourself. I wasn't really being that at all with myself.
I like this a lot. Of course, he looked so happy and he was still in favor. I just hope that he'd be remembered for, his dancing, but it's unfortunate that he'll be remembered for the Truth or Dare scene. That is, the kiss, yes. He was embarrassed and he was ashamed of being caught off guard like that. He wasn't there yet. He wasn't ready that. He wasn't holding that flag and trying to make it more acceptable to anyone. He just wanted to live his life and not be an advocate for something. It wasn't a statement that he wanted to make. It was her statement.
Because she loved Gabriel. I don't think it was ever her intention to hurt him. She liked him too much.
I just think life is unfair. Like, here I am, this person, everybody thinks I have everything I want, right? But I want you and I can't have it.
He begged her not to use it, and she just wouldn't relent. This is in Gabriel's lawsuit against Madonna. This is the deposition that was given under oath to the lawyers. Before this, at least, you wouldn't look at me and say, he's gay. You would have no idea I was unless you were a close friend or I chose to tell. During dinner at a restaurant, I was telling her how this is hurting me emotionally, that it was a problem. This is when she told me, I'm just ashamed of myself. Question, she said you were ashamed of yourself? Answer, yes, she told me I was ashamed of myself. She told me to get over it.
Please welcome Madonna's dancers from Truth or Dare, Kevin Stay and Oliver Crooms, and the attorney representing them in their lawsuit, Deborah Johnson.
Oliver and I were in the same boat. It was literally the clause in our contract. Gabriel, however, was in a very unique position. He was basically suing for forced outing.
Gabriel is not here today. He's the third dancer who's also involved in this suit, along with Oliver and Kevin.
We've been pursuing this since the moment we got off tour, since the clause is for a certain amount of money to be paid for us.
Oh, not really. I just feel that we weren't in court, but we was in this office, and there was me, Kevin and Gabriel, and Madonna sitting across from us, and I felt bad, but I'm looking at her like going, really, Madonna? I mean, do we have to go through this, And her look on her face was like, how could you guys do this to me? But we're looking like, well, in a way, if it wasn't for us, there would be no movie.
Did you ever try to work it out?
Oh, yes. I sent
What
her,
did she say to you?
I sent her a very personal letter saying that I wanted to talk, I wanted to negotiate, that I loved her, I missed her, and I wanted to see her again. And the response I got was, you're on my list.
this is. Oh wow. Oh, it's just all photos. This is it. This is recording artist Jose and Luis. Queen's English. Yeah.
As soon as we got to New York, we were writing this local celebrity fame kind of thing. And so we decided to, to do a record. Some backup vocals for us, which was great. I mean, she was really generous. It's easy to lose touch with reality when you're living in this kind of like celeb bubble. Life got in my way. I think Luis got in my way.
Hey, is that the material, babe, right there? When I got off for tour, I was big-headed. I walked around like my shit didn't stink. I'm not gonna lie. Even when I moved to Vegas in '94, I was the man. I was in my show Splash, one of the best dance shows that was in Vegas. They had a Madonna impersonator. I got to perform and choreograph my spot. I used to come down here every night. I never missed a club, ever. I went to clubs. Everybody knew me. It was wonderful. I didn't have to pay for drinks. I was drinking very heavily. I would every day buy a bottle of vodka. I would go buy the cheapest vodka. I didn't even care.
We would just go out, we would go to a club, maybe hang out with the House of Extravaganza, we could have a little house party there, and then we just go all over town, party, yeah. When you're in that bubble, you just don't care about anything, and you don't care about anybody. In the beginning, it was very glamorous, and everybody is beautiful and looks beautiful and wearing expensive clothes, and we are in an expensive setting, and so, the drugs look glamorous. As soon as the drugs become more important, the less glamorous they become. And so you start doing it in less glamorous places. It got as bad as, me living in an apartment, with 2 crates and a television and a closet full of expensive clothes. I was very mean. I don't want to see this one, I don't care about that one. Just cutting off your feelings. That's what I did. I didn't care about anybody. I just lived in the moment, doing all those things that I was there, just not to think about anything.
That sounds
like you almost don't have a life if you
Yeah, it wasn't a life. It wasn't a life. It was going out partying, and then sometimes, you know, I didn't have the fun, so I would go out too, and it was just terrible. And then sometimes, you know, just not having a place to sleep neither. And then, you know, I would, at least I could always in the club, and I was like, please let me find somebody where I could crash. And it's mostly because I had a lot of friends and I could crash somewhere. But a lot of times I had no place to live neither. It was horrible. It was such a, and you know, I didn't know what I'm gonna do. Call my mom, listen, Mom, I don't have anywhere to live. You know, so I never wanted to, and I think I did it too, not to, you know, not to hurt her neither, but I was hurting her much more by not telling her, you know, what actually was happening.
I remember sending him off to New York and just crying in the car that he was at risk. And did I need to tell him? What else was there to say? Be careful. And yet it didn't work.
I didn't know that Gabriel was HIV positive or had AIDS because he didn't say it. When I went to Italy, I had called quite often from the set. Like after the show, I would call almost every Sunday. And then I called and his mom answered. And I said, oh, is Gabriel there? She said, no, and he never will be again. And I was like, what? Like, what are you telling me right now?
He didn't tell me till he couldn't not tell me anymore. It was a gift, but in a way, but one that I regret that he had to, you know, that he had to keep it a secret, and what that must have felt worrying about having to tell.
It was terrifying. It's terrifying enough to scare people into silence. It was a silent battle that you carried by yourself.
Some days I'd come in and he'd be crying and he'd be, you know, just inconsolable and scared of, you know, being in pain and just worrying about what was next, what was going to happen next. And he just became, you know, less, you know, I remember talking to the dogs and he said the dogs stopped listening to you because your voice changes when you get that sick and you don't have the power in your voice, and so you become a different person, and the dogs picked up and they wouldn't listen to him because they could tell he was sick. And so in every way he changed, you know, and from this, you know, beautiful, robust young man to this, you know, sickly creature.
Do you think Gabriel knew he was HIV positive during the tour?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah. It was hard for Gabriel to be honest about being gay and then honest about being infected. So he had to keep a big part of himself closeted. And so there's that irony with the message of the tour. But, when he was dancing, he was able to really be loose, and it was a safe way to be expressive. So I think he took refuge in dance as a way to be himself without having to reveal these other things.
Sorry. Okay.
What are you thinking about?
Just Gabriel and Carlton.
Do you wish they had told you?
Yeah, because it would have been okay. It would have been okay.
And move on, because there's such a great power in learning to move on.
Well, that is our show for tonight. Tweet me or email us. Who would you like to see on Where Are They Now? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
When I got diagnosed in 1985, I already had a massive loop for 85, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1990, 5 years. I was just ramped with, fear and hatred of those lepers. That's what it felt like. The internal storm was just trying to fake your way to be accepted. Faking that you're strong, faking that you are confident, faking that you think you look good, faking that you believe people really care about you. Faking. Almost all of it.
I want to go over a few of the, just a couple of the people that you've worked with in your long career. Prince, Ricky Martin, Janet Jackson, David Bowie, Celine Dion, George Michael, Lady Gaga, Beyonce. But I do want to go over how did it come about that you even started working with Madonna? I think a lot of people know you best from, the Blonde Ambition Tour and Truth or Dare. So
I started getting quite depressed about the whole situation. As much as I would try to just sort of push it to the background and ignore the lawsuit or what happened, she's the most visible person in the world. Everywhere, on every cover of every magazine, pictures of her everywhere, people talking about her all the time, people coming to me to talk to her about her all the time. And what came up whenever she came up in conversation was that somebody in the world is mad at me. I suffered a lot over not having her in my life. Not as, a boss, but literally just as a person in my life that I admired and loved and could relate to.
Corner. Soup. I almost lost my family. I had to beg for my family back. My mother, my father, my brother and sister, because I act like I was all that. I did the right thing. I stopped drinking, but didn't know it was gonna be cold turkey. So
Right, but obviously, you know, because years later,
Oh,
he got what they call
2006,
Bell's palsy, and sometimes you can see it. So when you smile, you know, you can kind of see that this part's not as big, and that eye is really squinted sometimes, especially when he gets tired. It's the nervous system, you
Yeah.
know, and
2 times in my life, something bad
yeah,
happened.
they told him and me, you know, oh, it's just something that can happen. 1 out of 100 people get it, and
can
you
happen
just
to
wake
anybody.
up with it. However, we always think, oh, it's probably because, you know, you had the seizures and your nervous system was in
We
shock,
thought that.
and you know.
But it could happen to you right now,
They
as
say,
we're talking.
They say anybody. No, you kind of have to. You wake up with it.
Oh, you wake up with it, my bad.
Or you have a dramatic moment, and your face
body
can kind of
twitches.
pause in one spot, and
The whole face.
You know,
I woke up
couldn't
and I
blink
caught.
his eye.
I couldn't blink my eye. I woke up, talking like this.
Hey, how are you? Thank you. Hey, how are you? How is everybody? And hold it up again. One more time, all the way down. And plie. Slowly roll it up again. Stay in a plie, push your hips all the way forward. Good. And roll it up again. Last variation. All the way down. It's hard because I never talked about it before. And this is the first time, so. Also, in 1987, must have been like around must be around December. I wasn't feeling well, and it was something with my kidneys, and I was already in New York, and I didn't have insurance here, so I went to Belgium to get checked, and it was something with my kidney, but they fixed it, and it was all okay. They did some drainage or something, and they said it was no problem. But for some reason, the day before I left, I got another call, and they asked me to come back to the hospital because they wanted to talk to me. And I was like, oh, well, that's odd. So me and my mom went. I don't remember where the hospital is in. It was in close to Antwerp. And I went to the hospital. I remember me and my mom going into the room and the doctor talking to me. And that's where he told me, yeah, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm sadly to tell you that you're HIV. When you have somebody telling you, you know, listen, you're only going to live 5 to 10 years, I mean, everybody was dropping like flies. I totally blanked it out. I didn't want to talk to about it. My mom promised me she wouldn't tell anybody, so it was just between us two. Even till to this day, you know, nobody knows, you know. No, I've always kept it a secret. It was such a dark time in my life. So dark, and it brought me to so many like dark places too, you know. And not be able to work, and then just in the partying, and just like, am I gonna get sick? And then this friend dies, and that one dies, you know, and then I'm losing weight, am I okay? It's like constantly looking at myself, oh my God, do I look sick? And no outlet, you know, that was always the hardest, you know, it was hard. And sometimes, you know, no place to live too, you know, it was terrible, you know, but still, you know, I didn't want to leave this country. I was gonna go back to Belgium and do what, you know? And I didn't call my mom. It's like, hey mom, look, I'm doing a lot of drugs, you know, and now, sorry mom, I know, but you know, I'm doing this too because I think, you know, a lot of people are probably in this situation or have been in this situation, you know? And if I even can touch one person, you know, it would mean the world to me because I know it's a bitch, you know, and if you have nobody, and I'm a strong person, you know, and I think I survived it too because I'm strong, but not everybody is strong like that because it fucks with your head very badly.
Bring it back down. Nice. Chin down a little. Get that little smile in the eyes. What's your secret? Tip the head a little straighter. Right there. Chin down even more. Good. Stay there.
Even after my show with her was done, I was still in fake mode. you know, but I was still in the world, even though the tour has ended, I'm still in the world trying to represent what they saw me as, which was Super Iron Man, kill it all and knock it all down. When I knew that I wasn't that. I knew that I wasn't that because when I had my other moments, I was petrified. And I was proving that I was weak because I wasn't standing up for myself. That's been a very gripping thing to have to undo from me to me. If I was rested in who I was, it wouldn't matter to get excess attention all the time. At a restaurant, you know, I'm at a restaurant with you, but then who's that over there? And I've got to be super charming so they say something. And then I've got to give somebody else a something so they are locked in on me. That's a lot of fucking stuff. It was really interesting to watch myself crumble into nothingness with like being afraid to go out. I mean, I literally just became so small.
Oh my God, I look so uncomfortable. Nails.
Who is a friend of mine who died of AIDS a couple months ago. Now, you probably know Keith Haring as an artist, but I know
The face already. Oh, I look petrified.
the courage to tell the truth. The truth is, he was gay. The truth is, he had AIDS, and he said so to anybody who would listen. In memory of Keith, let's tell ourselves the truth. Let's tell it to each other.
And can't wait to get off.
What do you think that the tour with Madonna has meant in Jose's life?
¿Qué tú crees que ha significado esa gira en la vida mía? Porque todo el mundo habla de eso y todo el mundo, ¿qué tú crees que ha significado? ¿Ha sido una cosa muy grande o cómo tú opinas? ¿Qué tú opinas?
Opino
Sí.
que pudiera estar bailando con ella.
She feels that I still should be dancing with her. That I still should be there is what she feels. And that's when it was good.
Que no era de haber dejado la carrera ya después que comenzó con Madonna, él tenía que seguir con otra gente, buscar otra gente para, ya él abrió la puerta principal, no, él mismo la cerró, déjala abierta para que siga.
She's saying that I should have just kept on dancing with Madonna with everybody because I had a lot of opportunities, and she says that the same door that I opened is that I also closed on myself.
I think it was a Saturday or Sunday, and I went over to her house by myself and just hung out with her. And went to the store to buy magazines. Then we got photographed. It was like a paparazzi moment. I think that's one of the last times I saw her, you know, when all that was going down. You know, the heroin, all that stuff was going down. She told me that, you know, that I need to get help, that we need to get help. But, I mean, more importantly, that I needed to get help. And, you know, I think that's one of the reasons why she started to slowly back away from us. I think that's the moment I realized, like, oh no, I don't think I'm gonna, you know, be seeing her. And there was something in my consciousness, or in my, you know, in the back of my consciousness that says, this is where it starts to fade.
Porque cuando estaba pequeño,
She's saying when I was little,
a mí me mandaron una tarjeta. Yo lloré mucho porque me dolió de él. Me mandaron una tarjeta con una casa marcada. Como una postal con una casa. Y yo le dije a él que esa casa para que él me la comprara.
one time she saw a picture of a house and a postcard, and she had shown it to me saying, this is a house that one day you will buy me. Entonces,
Me dolió.
and then it bothered her because she felt that
Me dolió porque nunca llegó la casa.
she felt that I had an opportunity to give her that.
Nunca llegó la casa, nunca. No, me dolió. Porque ya que abrió la puerta, no la cierre. Déjala abierta, sigue con el modelaje. Ya había estado en Italia, modelando en Italia, 3 meses en Italia, todo. Y no me compró nada. No me la compró.
I never got to get her that house.
No me la compró. Porque más o menos que no han ido a televisión, nunca habían bailado con Madonna, hicieron todo y él no. Y eso
She
me
said
duele.
that bothered her a lot.
Todavía me
Because
duele.
she's saying that I could have had that such a great opportunity. And she feels still wants that house one day.
And what does your mother think that went wrong with you?
She doesn't even know what went wrong. She just knows that a lot of things, I just disappeared and went off and lived my life, you know? And like, she doesn't even know the half of a lot of the things, you know?
Eso fue así.
But she would have wanted you to continue that career.
My career that I studied since a kid.
Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I would be stupid not to. Absolutely.
Me dolió.
And what do you think that happened? Why weren't you able to continue that path?
I wasn't able to continue because I became insecure. I became hurt of so many things in love and in life, you know. Started to doubt myself and about things and wondering if I was going to die next and things like that, you know. Yeah, there was a very dark moment. But I was very, like, strong in the sense that I would never let anyone know what I was going through. A lot of the times, you know, never mind that my mom, I had left, so, you know, I didn't feel, I felt because of the fact that I wasn't able to succeed and I had messed everything up. There was no point in me being around. So I disappeared for a period of time.
Lisa, j'étais assemblé, attitude and attitude. Ta-da! My bows,
right?
And still so many people saw you and got inspired to be
Still in awe. Still in awe. I'm like, how is that possible that so many people can be so inspired by me? You know? Those weren't my intentions at all to move so many people. And at the time I didn't realize it. Till much later on in life I didn't realize what I had done. So wait a minute, you actually have touched people with what you brought.
Is that comforting now in a way?
Oh yeah. If I have nothing else, that to me is enough.
Carlton.
How are you? Oh my God. Slam.
Carlton, how are you?
Jesus, hi, grown man. Look at you.
It's bachelor number 3.
Mwah. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to see you.
How are you?
So good,
Take
baby.
your
How are
glasses
you?
off. I want to see your eyes. No, I'm joking.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God, you're making me like.
How are you?
Who is this?
Into jazz hands.
Holy crap. My Cam.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so sweet. Wow.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold up.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I love your jacket.
It's a beautiful jacket.
How are you? Dante. Oh, you smell delicious.
Oh my God, dude. So good to see you.
Yes.
Aww.
I'm like, look at this grown man.
We all grew up.
Oh my God, we grew up.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's a family and brotherhood,
Yeah,
right? Sisterhood. With the exception of.
Let me tell you.
No numbers tonight.
Well, how-
What is this, like 25 years? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't really say it's a long time.
I get the messages that say,
know,
all of
yeah.
you guys,
Touching, yeah.
that tour changed my life. That movie changed my life.
I know.
Each one of you guys, I mean,
I know. No, it's true.
and I'm telling you,
aware of it,
Yeah,
though.
I
think
wasn't
we
aware.
were.
No,
I
we
didn't
weren't.
know.
I
No,
wasn't aware of it neither.
But I had to do a lot of shit, and then one finger was wrong, and she would like flip out.
Like saying shit. One night he was like, I can't see her hand. I can't see her hand. I'm like, what do you mean?
What was life like for you? Like, how did you feel a dropout, or was it challenging, or?
It was weird. Like, I felt like, because I started auditioning again, but I felt like every time I walked into an audition, I never walked into an audition as a regular dancer again. It was always as the Madonna dancer and Donna Well. They hated me for no reason. They didn't know who I was, or they hated her.
Or loved
You know, so I never walked into an audition again just as a good
regular
dancer.
dancer,
No,
yeah.
it was always that connected. And it opened a lot of doors, but it's also a curse at the same time.
I would like for her to be here because it wasn't just like, it was just like dancer and pop star, dancers working for a pop star. It got, you know, like, it got deeper, exactly. We became a family and we were all young. And for all of it to happen and for there not to be anything after that, whether it's to say, oh, you fucked up, or you guys are a mess and I just couldn't deal. I just couldn't deal with you and your antics and you and Lewis and you guys. It got too much. They sued me, you know, and I was something, you know, just not nothing.
I don't feel like I have I have no ill will to her at all. I think the biggest shame or thing that I miss is the love. That I really do love her and always have, and I've never said a bad word about her. And I wish she was here simply because I feel like it would be lovely to have the opportunity to relate to her as an adult.
I don't think she owes us any acknowledgement. I think she gave us a fantastic opportunity. And, you know, I mean, we've lived our lives. I'm just saying that she doesn't really owe us anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what came out of that experience was of our doing. We became who we are today because of us. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it was great that it happened with her. It really was. It was a moment in time, you know, and all the stars aligned correctly. For me and Jose and for you guys. I mean, you know, we were plucked out of non-existence, and we became
existence.
Guys, Gabriel, I love you. So I want you to hear this. You changed my life. You changed my life because I came from the hood, which y'all don't understand, from New Orleans, not New Orleans. New Orleans in the Lafayette projects wasn't thought of or heard of gays, whatever, this and that. And to come into the world of you guys, I am so blessed and I'm so thankful.
You guys are like family to me, you know? And no matter how many years have gone by, like I sit here now, and like it's like I never left you guys. And I just don't know why I'm emotional. It's not out of sadness or anything. It's like overwhelmingly love.
It's cool.
It's a lot of love. That's all it is. There's no sadness. It's just like, you guys are my brothers.
So truth or dare, mister?
Truth or dare? Truth.
Truth. What's been the biggest thing of your life that you've had to overcome?
Drugs and alcohol. I think the only saving grace was my mom. She sent me to Los Angeles to dry out. And I was drying out off of heroin. Heroin brought me to my knees. Yeah.
Tell us what has been the greatest lesson you've learned in your life, the greatest piece of wisdom that you've learned?
As far as what? Like,
That you've
Tell
lived your
us.
life by? Yeah, you tell us. What stands out as...
not to judge, I think. The greatest piece of wisdom, yeah, not to judge anybody, yeah. And just, knowing that everybody goes through something, and everybody, at the end, everybody is going through something, and not just really to judge them. That's the greatest thing I think I've learned in my life so far, being 46 years old. Yeah.
Truth, right? If you, now that you're in a slightly different place around the whole gayness, if you were to have sex with a man, which guy at this table would it be?
Oh my God. There's no answer to that. Let me finish. The reason why? Because you, and you are my brothers.
Okay, but that's
No. The question is truth or dare. Or the game is truth or dare.
Yeah. And
And
you
that's
said
truth.
truth.
I said truth.
And I gave you a truth to answer.
Yes.
Which one? Not would you or wouldn't you. The question was, which one would you do if you had to?
Okay.
Just choose. And why?
Okay. All of you.
No, which one? One.
You can only pick one.
One.
And we're not judging you with that.
Yeah.
It's just
I
hypothetically
gotta go by
speaking.
one?
Yes.
Yes. Just
And
one.
why?
And why?
Gabriel.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
He's forever younger than all of us.
Why?
Because he's not here.
Why?
No. Because he was innocent. To me.
Okay.
Slam, truth or dare?
As you drink.
Yeah, no,
As you slurp.
not there. Truth, because I don't want to kiss anybody, no. Like all my sisters. I take truth.
God, you can take dare and you can go
No,
and kiss me. It's okay.
no, I don't want to kiss you. What? I'll take truth.
All right. What is your biggest fear?
What's my biggest fear? To say it, I'm gonna look at Jose because you give me the biggest strength always. I think my biggest fear is and was always to find out for people that I was HIV positive. That was been my biggest fear. I was diagnosed in 1987. Yeah, being HIV positive. And I think that was my biggest fear, always for people to find out. Yeah, and I feel so, it's like, I don't know. I never wanted to share this story with anybody else but you guys, and I mean, I was, diagnosed in 87 and, finally in 2015, I want to be free, My honey.
You too.
And it's like, it's like 3 people, I know. And it was my first sexual experience, yeah. Because, I just didn't know anything about it, yeah.
Well, the good news is that you're living proof that it's not a tough sentence.
I know, and that's why I'm telling my story, because, I want to share my story like Carlton, I just want to share it, and yeah. And I always wanted to tell somebody, but it's
Thank you.
it's
No, thank you
hard,
both.
and it's
Thank you
and
both.
I just knew the moment would come. I just, it was just never the right time,
Can I say something to both of y'all outside of truth or dare with us? Can I say something on the outside of this? If this was before Madonna, I would be afraid of this. I wouldn't. Oh my God.
And how do you feel about it now?
Oh my God, it's a beautiful thing that to come out and express yourself because you're holding something in.
Yeah. And and I just
And
like
oh my God, dude.
yeah. But at the same time, it's been a blessing, because it's like it's made me who I am, you know. It's just like it changed so many things, but you know, when that moment that you get diagnosed, you know, it's just like your whole world falls in, you know.
No, but I just want you to know, like, there is a massive degree of new light for all that you're doing that's going to happen because you took this move today. It really is amazing, Slam.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a house built out of stone, wooden floors, walls, and window sills, tables and chairs warmed by all of the dust. This is a place where I don't feel alone. This is a place where I feel at home.
4, 5. Ha! I'm not mad at that. If you gotta get another thing and you wanna go boom as your last pose, work it out.
We wanted to read body language is everything, okay? So come on, let's take it again. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and real slow. 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 Good. Last one. Be proud. You know, be proud, whatever it is. Because everyone is someone.
One of the things that we do every year is to honor someone that grew up with Jazz Camp, was a very important part of the legacy of this program, Mr. Gabriel Trupin, who was the son of our beloved Sue Trupin.